and welcome back to our channel. We'll have an hour channel for this vlog. What are you going to make today?
Well, today I'm going to make a Malteser slice.
This is not Slimming World friendly.
It is.
Unless someone wants to work out the sins.
This is friendly to anybody.
So if you are not interested in a recipe that is not for the Slimming World plan, then please switch off now. But we are going to show you a popular recipe that Andrew often makes for his work colleagues, and it is very, very nice, and I have had to have this in the fridge quite often and not eat any of it.
Me too.
So for your Malteser slice, Andrew, what do you need?
Things.
Come on then, show us.
Right. What I'm going to start off with, I think, is the way I'll actually do it. So we'll start off with chocolate chip cookies.
These are just...
I just get cheap ones. You know, you don't have to go mad. It's up to you, but you know, I just get. I think these are 230 grams. So something around about the 250 gram mark will be fine for this recipe. Big box of Maltesers.
So that is
That's a box of Maltesers.
360 grams, but you don't use all of them.
No, you eat the rest of them. The original recipe said to use 4 Mars bars, but I use these from Morrison's. Apollo bars. I'll use probably, there's 8 in here, I'll use probably 6 of these.
And they are 172 calories each, and you'll use 6. 6,
yes. And there's about 1 million calories in that. I don't know how many is in that, that's probably...
Well, for 2 cookies, it's 106 calories. And we're using the whole packet.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
This is, yeah. There's 1,000, no hang on. Yeah, 1,140 calories of chocolate. Get 2 of these.
So Morrison's milk chocolate.
Milk chocolate, or dairy milk, or whatever you fancy.
So you need two bars.
Yeah.
So you need 400 grams of milk chocolate.
Not 200 grams. These. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. No, that's not. Oh, I've worked that out wrong then. It's 2,300 calories of milk chocolate.
Because you need 400 grams.
I thought these were 100 grams, but they're not the 200. So yeah. So I think we're around about the 4,000 to 5,000 calorie mark now. You want 100 grams of butter, better.
Unsalted.
Unsalted, and you want some.
Careful, that's
some sweetened condensed milk. Get that. And then that's it really. And then I'll show you how to put it all together. Oh yes.
So yeah, so you need a 400 gram tub of tin of condensed milk.
You don't use all that though.
Yeah, you can see there's some left in there.
I use about 300 grams of that, millilitres.
So what's the first step? That one.
Right, so what I've done now is I've put my condensed milk and butter in a pan. We'll heat that up later, but first of all I'll start with my chopping.
So you've got 300 grams of condensed milk, was it?
300, I think millilitres, isn't it?
300 ml of condensed milk,
yeah.
And how much butter again?
100 grams.
100 grams of butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got me my cookies. And what we'll do with that, we'll just sling all them in there. Get the biggest bowl you can find. You'll need it. Yeah, put all them in there like that. And you can either use some to belt them with and crush them up, or what I tend to do is I'll just break them up in my hands. Right, so that's how it should look. It can be quite chunky because you want some sort of
Bite.
some sort of texture to your Malteser slice. So now I'll chop some of these up.
So again, you've got 6 Apollo bars.
I've got 6, yes.
Or 4 normal sized Mars bars.
Yeah, I prefer these to Mars bars. I don't like Mars bars anymore. They're too dense. These are quite. These are a lot softer in the middle.
And you can get Aldi also sell their own version, and Tesco.
So what? So just chop these up. What I tend to do is I'll just go down the middle with them, and then so that usually chop them up to something like that. See that? So they're about that big. And just put them in with your biscuits, and do that with all of your Mars bar type thing. And down the middle, and then so now they're all chopped up and they've been added into with the biscuits, and then I'll start chopping my Maltesers.
So about how many Maltesers are you putting in there?
I probably this will probably, well, this should make between 36 and 40 individual slices. So you need to leave back at least that amount of Maltesers for decorating the top. And what I tend to do is I'll probably use at least 200 grams of this 360 gram box to put in here. So basically it's just a matter of cutting them in half.
And what I thought this recipe would be good for is eating, yeah, but bonfire night, and also if you want to give them out at Halloween for children who can eat them. But yeah, I think it's a good recipe for a little treat on bonfire night. But very calorie heavy, as you can see. So you want to get a baking tray. How big is the baking tray?
The baking tray is this size.
13 inches by 8?
Yes.
Or roughly?
Yes, about 13 inch. Yeah.
And you just want to brush it with some melted butter or marge.
Good old marge. Get some greaseproof paper, and then just line your tin. What I tend to do is I'll just to make it easy, just cut into these corners just so that it fits better.
Then you want to return to your hob and start to melt your condensed milk and butter.
You certainly do. Put it on a medium heat and just keep stirring it once it starts to melt, because you don't want it to catch on the bottom of your pan. There's nothing worse when your pan bottom gets catched. Right, so as you can see, the butter's melted now, and it's just about to start simmering. That's how you want it. Okay. And once it gets to that point, you want to transfer this, which I'll show you next, into the big bowl. Right, so everything's in there. So you've got your cookies, you've got your chopped up Mars bar thingies, and you've got your Maltesers chopped in half, and there should be an even spread of everything. You can't beat an even spread. So get your your melted liquid and all that kind of thing, and pour that all over it. Look at that. So as you can tell, there's probably around about, I don't know, 100 calories so far we've used, so it's not too bad.
Take no notice.
Right, get your wooden spoon and give it a good mix. This will be really sticky, so don't worry about it being too sticky. So that's how it should look. Very sticky. Just incorporate everything. So obviously, with it being a very hot liquid, it's going to melt all the chocolate off the Maltesers, but that's fine because that's how it's supposed to be. And then just transfer this into that. Yeah. Right, so once you put it in your thing, in your tin, get a palette knife and spread it out as evenly as you can.
What did you do with the bowl once you'd scraped it out?
What did I do with it? Put it washing up.
Did you lick any of the bowl?
No.
I don't know how he does it. He did not lick the bowl.
Right, so once you've spread it all out, make it as even as possible. You want to try and make it as even, well, it depends how deep your dish is, or your tin is. Try and make sure you leave enough all the way around. Because when this is set, this is going in the fridge now, you'll be pouring all this melted chocolate on top.
So we've got about half a centimetre maybe?
You probably, well, probably a little bit more than that, probably a centimetre now. But I would say probably a 1/4 of an inch left for the chocolate, which is all you need. You won't need any more. So that's going in the fridge now, and put that in until it's cooled completely. I usually put it in for about at least an hour. Right, now I'm just breaking up the chocolate to melt it.
So again, it's 2 bars, 400 grams of milk chocolate.
Yes.
Do any of these squares go in your mouth?
No.
Don't know how you do it.
It won't be 400 grams of chocolate then, would it?
Yeah, I know, but one square wouldn't make any difference.
It would. That'd fill a corner with that. So yeah, I know probably some of you are thinking, what's he doing? Putting it straight in the pan over a heat. Well, this is the way I've always done it. As long as you put it on a low heat and you keep stirring it, there shouldn't be a problem.
But you can do it the traditional way of melting it in a bowl over hot water.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever works for you, really.
Hang on.
Right, as you can see, the chocolate's melted now. Turn the heat off. Now I'm going to add a bit of oil. Around about a teaspoon or so. I'll just fill this cap. Maybe a little bit more. Basically all that does is when the chocolate sets again, it won't set quite so hard. So it makes it a lot easier to cut into squares without the chocolate breaking into big chunks, if you know what I mean. Right, so I'm taking this out of the fridge now. This is quite cold and it's set quite firm, so just pour your chocolate. Be quite quick with this because it's going onto something cold. It will start to set the chocolate quite quickly. What I tend to do is I'll just do it like that.
Just tipping it to fill the corners.
Yeah, just make sure that it's all level. Right, so what we'll do is I'll put it back in the fridge for a few minutes, just so it sets a little bit, only for a couple of minutes or so, if that. I might not even put it in the fridge actually, and then I'll start putting the Maltesers on top. Right, so I'm going to start. This is probably the trickiest part. If you like to be neat like I do, this might take a little bit of time, but it's worth it in the end. So start putting your Maltesers out.
There's basically one Malteser per slice, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're only probably 2-inch squares of these Malteser slices.
You don't need a lot. You can see how much chocolate and stuff has gone into it, so you don't need a massive piece.
So just carefully drop them down. Trying to keep them as level as possible, or straight a line as possible. As you can see, it's you can keep them as straight as possible, horizontally and vertically. It makes slicing them a lot easier.
So even though there's a lot of calories and ingredients gone into it, they are small pieces. But I'm sure even one piece would probably be over 15 cents.
Well, there you go.
And we'll just put that in the fridge now for an hour or two to set completely. Yeah?
Well, no, not at all, actually.
Oh.
Listen to me. This is what you do. You put it in the fridge. You show your shirt off like this a little bit, and then what you do is you put them in, and probably you've got to keep looking backwards and forwards. What you need to do is it's a tricky part of the whole situation, because what you need to do is you've got to try and work out when's the best time to cut into it. You don't want it too hard, but you don't want it too soft either. You want a nice crisp cut, and I'm trying to remember how long they need to be in the fridge for. When it gets to about that stage, I would say no more than half an hour.
Well, there you go then. That's the expert has spoken. So
and then you cut them up.
Yeah.
Which I'll show you, and then you show your shirt off a bit again, and then
We'll let you know exactly how long they're in the fridge for before we cut them.
It's good when you watch a good professional video like this, don't it? We all know what we're doing.
The Malteser tray bake's been in the fridge for about 45 minutes. So you need a good quality knife. Show your knife.
Look at that. It needs to be quite big. Right, so this is the reason why you line your tin.
Look at that.
And take your slice out. Fold back your greaseproof paper. Right, so here we go. This is where the fun starts. Find your middle. Try and keep your knife parallel to your Maltesers all the way down. And just slightly rock it. And there's your first slice. I recommend just keep cleaning your knife and do the same again. Find your middle. Just rock it slightly. And just carry on doing that all the way across. And then I'll show you later and we'll go the other way. Alright. Right, so now I've cut all my diagonal lines. So that's how it's, so I've gone from that. So I've turned it round slightly. So now I'm going to start on my first one, change my knife to a smaller one, and then find your middle and then slice.
You might find that you have to trim the ends as well. Show that little bit that you've cut off.
Yeah, I'll just trim that off the end.
Just to make nice squares.
So they're all as even as possible. So I'm just wiping my knife every time I cut, just to keep your squares as perfect as possible.
You can see it's only just set into it at the moment, so these will need to go back in the fridge.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll just get some more greaseproof paper. So I've got my greaseproof paper, got a small palette knife, and I just transfer them. As you can see, you see all the things that we put in at the start. So that's what they look like.
And Andrew charges £10, don't you, for this?
Yeah. Well, it costs roughly around about £7.50 to £8 to get the ingredients. So
I think £10 a pretty good price.
well, they're all chopped up now into little squares, as you can see. There you go. And that's what the finished product looks like. Not bad. I think this is my 50 actually. It's done quite well out of this one. So what I'll do now is I'll put these into a container. I usually keep these in the fridge. You don't need to, but after it takes quite a while to cut them up like this, and in that time they've softened a bit. So I tend to put them in a container and chill them in the fridge, and helps them set. And they're lovely. So so I hope you enjoyed it. That's your Malteser slice. And I said these are about half a tin each. Yeah, about half a tin each, I think. There you go.
Andrew tells me he has got 46 pieces in his tin. He may have already told you this, but 46 pieces of Malteser slice. And I do have an idea for making a popcorn bar from Tom Kerridge's TV show that works out about 4.5–5 cents. So if that's something you'd like to see, then let me know. I can't remember exactly what's in it, but it's like a popcorn snack bar. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you make it, let us know. Please like, comment and subscribe, and we will see you next time.